Hello, Matrix. My name is Retief, and I'm a project manager with the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants. Normally at this time of year, we'd be seeing you at your schools, or you'd be with us at one of our Tutuga development camps. But because of the situation, we aren't able to do that currently. If you're feeling a bit frustrated and annoyed, we completely understand, because we're feeling the exact same way. And we understand how tough it must be without having the extra support to help you through. And whilst we can't be with you in person, we're trying our best to be with you in the only way we can right now, and that's digitally. To help you with your matric revision, the team and I have reached out to some of our favorite educators to create a series of videos in the most common problematic topics that matrics struggle with. We hope that these videos are able to assist you and help you feel less alone during this time. All the best for your matric exams, and good luck, matric class of 2021.
Welcome back. Right, so we are looking at this question over here. So g of x is equal to half to the power x, which means it's a decreasing exponential function. So if you think about it, it's going to look like that, where the asymptote is at 0. So the first question is, write down the range of g. So the range of g is where y is bigger than 0. So it's got to be higher than the asymptote. 4(2). Determine the equation of g inverse. So y equals half to the power of x. So interchange x and y. So x is equal to half to the power of y. Therefore, the inverse is equal to y equals log half base half x. Right, that's the inverse. 4.3. Is g inverse a function? And the answer is yes. We test the function by drawing the vertical line test. It passes the vertical line test. So if the original function is a function, the inverse will also be a function. Right. 4.4. If m lies on g inverse, calculate the value of a. Right. So the inverse is y equals log of x. So the point is m, which is a and 2. So the y value is 2 and the x value is a. So what you do is you take the base and you raise it to that number. So 1 over 2 to the power of 2 is equal to a. So therefore a equals a half squared, which is a quarter. 442. If m1 is the image of m lies on g, write down the coordinates of m1. So let's just write that coordinate down. What's that? 1 over 4 and 2. So remember, when you work out the inverse, y equal to x, that means the x and y values interchange. So then the m1 then would be 2 and 1 over 4. 4.5. If h of x is equal to g of x plus 3 plus 2, write down the coordinates of m1 on h. Alright, now this means the graph is shifting 3 units left and 2 up. So if we take m, which is 1 over 4 and 2 to get m1, shift this 3 units to the left. So that would be minus 2,75. Yep, which is minus 11 over 4. And 2 up, so obviously just add 2 there and that will give you 4. Right, that's that for question 4. Right, so I'm looking at this question down here. Alright, in the diagram below, f of x ax squared, which is a parabola, which turns at the origin, drawn in the interval x is smaller than 0. The graph of the inverse is also drawn. Okay, so for 1, it says, is the inverse a function? And the answer would be yes. Passes the vertical line test. So if you look at this graph, if I draw a vertical line, remember only focus on this graph. If I draw a vertical line, see it only cuts it once. 4-2. If R is a reflection of P along the line y equals x, write down the coordinates of R. So to work out the coordinates of R, so therefore y is equal to x, you interchange x and y. So then R would then be minus 12 and minus 6. 4-3, calculate the value of a. So y equals ax squared. I need a point. Right? So a point on f, well, that's easy. Minus 6 and minus 12. So that's minus 12 is equal to a bracket minus 6 squared. That will give me 36a. So therefore a equals minus 12 over 36. So therefore a equals minus a third. Write down the equation of f inverse in the form y equals. Alright, so 4 is y equals minus a third x squared. Right? So to work out the inverse, swap x and y. Multiply by negative 3. So therefore y equals the square root of minus 3x. Right, now, but we're only looking at the negative side of the graph. Okay, we're only looking at the negative side of the graph. We're not looking at the positive side as well. So therefore, instead of having plus minus there, it would be minus. And then the restriction there, x is got to be smaller than or equal to 0. Because if x is negative, then minus a negative times a negative is a positive, which makes that function, well, makes that graph exist. Right, the next question. Right, which is this one. Right, very interesting question over here. So we've got 1, 2, 3 more to go, and then we get the bonus questions at the end for you to practice all of this, what I'm doing currently. Right, so 6.1 is that f of x is equal to b to the power x. Okay, so they said determine the equation of g in terms of b in the form y equals. Alright, so p is the y-intercept of the graph, b to the power of x. The t is the x-intercept of the graph of g, the inverse of f, and r is the point of intersection between f and g. Straight lines are drawn. Okay, right, so determine the equation of g in terms of b. Right, so to work out the equation g, which is the inverse of f, right? So y equals b to the power of x. So to work out the inverse, you interchange x and y. Therefore, y equals log base b x. 62. Write down the equation of the line passing through O and R. So write down the equation of the line passing through O and R. It's y equals x. 63. Write down the coordinates of point P. So P would be 0 and 1. Why? Because y equals b to the x. So b to the power 0 times b to the power 0 would be 1. Write down the coordinates of point P. Okay, sorry, we've done that. 64. Determine the equation of the line passing through P and T. So P and T. So P is 0 and 1. And T, which is 1 and 0. Obviously the inverse of that. You swap x and y for the inverse. So the gradient there would be 1 minus 0 over 0 minus 1. So the gradient is negative 1. So the equation then would be y equals minus x plus c. But as you can see that P is the y-intercept and the coordinates of P are 0 and 1. So therefore the equation would be minus x plus 1. Right, 6.5. Last question for 5 marks. Calculate the value of P. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the coordinates of R first. So R is the point of intersection between the line y equals x and y equals minus x plus 1. So, so make these two equations equal to one another. So therefore x is equal to a half. So if x is equal to half, y is equal to half as well. So the coordinates of R are half and half. So now to work out the value of P, so y equals b to the x, and obviously that graph is passing through point R, which is half and half. So we got half equals b to the half. So reversing that, b to the half is the square root of b. So to get rid of the square root, we're going to square both sides. So therefore b is equal to a quarter. Right, very nice question to end off that video. Really like that question. Alright, hope you guys are enjoying it as well.